What's up, seven-figure hustlers?
We made it, finally.
Hey guys, this is week 3. Welcome. So glad to have you guys here. Chris Crone, my brother Nick Crone. We are here in the house to teach you how to get on your way to being a seven-figure hustler. That starts with not even six-figure hustles. That just starts with winning jobs. And you know what? We got tons of you out there winning jobs. So what we want to do is we want to acknowledge you. So by the way, in the chat below, what we want you to do right now is just go ahead and hook us up and tell us, what have you been doing? How have you been winning? What's working? Are you getting leads? Are you booking jobs? Have you been getting cash in hand? Are you building a pipeline of money coming in? Whatever you're experiencing that is a success for you in becoming a hustler, we want you to drop that in the comments below. And that's what we want to evaluate as we get going here. Dude, today we've got, as you're doing that, we got a great sexy lineup.
Dude, we got some sweet stuff happening, and I love the recognition part. I love it when other people start making money by just copying our blueprint.
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's so cool. Like Tucker, for example, said, dude,
here he is right here.
$1,500, and this week I'm collecting $5,000 more. And I'm like, dude, Tucker, dude, way to hustle,
He's killing it, man.
You're going out there, you're making it happen. But we want to check the rest of the comments. So, Luke, do we have you on the YouTube thread, like looking at comments below?
Okay, so we have him pouring in. Eric is saying he's going to bid a job right now, so he's going to peace out and watch this later, which is totally fine.
Yep, absolutely.
Make sure you watch this because this is critical. What we're going to go over today. I know Tucker had mentioned also they had $3,800 that he was also picking up here. 13 leads so far, and he's expanding to New Jersey. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah, and guys, this is happening all over the country, and some of you internationals, this is happening all over the world. Bottom line is, this works, and what an apropos thing we need in the world today. I mean, look at what is happening. People are recognizing more and more that you can't rely on governments, you can't rely on companies. You got to rely on yourself, because others will not always show up for you, even though companies can have a track record of being there, maybe for the long haul with you. At the end of the day, there's only one person that really is going to watch your six as best as you, and that is you. You're the ultimate hustler. And so this is about freedom. This is about time freedom. This is about money freedom. And this is about living the life that you want. Luke, what do we got? Who else we got chiming in below? We're going to check in on some of the results. I know this last week as I was collecting, I was blown away. We got Heather right out there who's got 4 jobs done, $2,500 coming in. Super excited to see that. And what else we got?
Still getting people coming.
Okay. They're still popping on here. But you know what's kind of exciting about all this, Chris?
Dude, tell me.
We got a $10,000 prize that we announced last week, which honestly, I'm so excited about. And we are working on the leaderboard. We have people submitting their jobs. We have revenue coming in, and then potential revenue as well. Yeah. And in fact, I think we had our first partner.
Yeah.
In the 5-figure range.
I know.
Dude, that's like serious. That's stiff competition, man.
$11,000.
That's pretty stiff, man.
Dude,
so
here's a couple of things that I want to show you right now. So if we have Patrick Naughton says, I've sent $80,000 worth of contractors, already got my first commission of $550 for me, $3,000 more in commissions already coming my way. Heather Wright was talking about her 4 sod jobs,
$2,500
profits. JC Kim, he says $1,000 of profit for him on that hustle. Got a couple more here. I've got Kevin. He says,
Kevin's a baller, man.
Dude, 21,000 square foot gig, $3,127. He's like, I guess that's profit. That's what's left over.
He just posted this the other day, man.
Jose's got 44 leads, 31 in sod, and 2 closed jobs.
Even just seeing the leads coming in, knowing that they come in cheap and that they're winning jobs, I mean, even that's a huge win.
Yeah, we got Micah Burgess. He says, here are my results after 6 days. I have 2 jobs booked.
That's amazing, man.
We got one on the chat now.
What else we got?
$6,200, Steve Lemon.
Steve Lemon, $6,200.
Make sure
What's up, dog?
Let us know. We want to put this in the leaderboard. We want to show you guys every single Friday. We're going to be posting the live leaderboard so you can see the results. Where do you stand? Are you number 1? Are you number 6? Do I need to work harder?
And the leaderboard is for a couple of reasons. Yeah, it's a contest, but we want you to see people everywhere are winning. This works. Dude, I love this one. This was from James last week. James says, running ads for sod, decks, house cleaning, and basically says so far he's got 49,500 in his pipeline.
Dude, that's a huge pipeline.
He's got 9,990 ready to close. and he's about to invoice $2,400.
So I know he's using Pipedrive
Yep.
because that is the language of Pipedrive.
Yes,
it's
it is.
amazing to know exactly what your pipeline looks like.
Benjamin Raw has closed 5 jobs with more in the pipeline. Good job,
Amazing,
Benjamin. And then we talked about Tucker, dude. Tucker's just
he's showing up over and over
dealing
again,
and
man.
having it show up. So guys, we are literally a couple of weeks into this. It is the start of our 3rd week training. And dude, it's happening. Do you have any other updates or shout outs that we want to do right now? We're going to throw some out along the way.
Feel free to comment below and we'll get to you guys here.
Casey Stevens has 56 leads.
56
42
leads.
For sod and 14 for deck.
Awesome, Casey Stevens. Good job.
56 leads, man. That's amazing for like 2 weeks.
You know, here's the amazing thing is in the beginning, it's get the leads rolling in, and then you got to learn. I got to get fast on it. Hustle means when the lead comes in, if you're using some of the automation we talked about last week, then number 1, they should be getting an automatic text.
Yep.
One $5 a month burner phone line.
Totally worth every penny.
Well, and you can send automatic like leads to different texts to different accounts off of just one account.
We showed you exactly how to do that last week.
Yeah, so you guys should be using that. I hopefully with automation, you got Zapier set up that is like, oh, let's make sure we send the lead to your email so that you know the moment it hits and you don't have to log into Facebook ad accounts. Oh, I want to make sure I have an automatic email go out, right? So all of that automation, in fact, I want you guys to light us up in the comments. If you, like, what have you set up? Have you set up Zapier?
What automations?
What other automations have you set up? The other one we talked about was Pipedrive, right? Which is basic, cheap CRM for tracking your leads.
Exactly where everyone's at. No one gets lost.
Yeah,
it's amazing, man.
And right now, I want to, before we drop into training, I want to ask you a couple of questions to make sure that you are 100% doing things the right way. Number 1, are your leads turned on and are you generating them? Like, do you have enough ad budget that they're coming in? Hopefully the answer is yes. Number 2, have you set up your automation so that you can be auto texting those individuals? You can be collecting them, getting notified on your phone, and have them in Pipedrive. I hope the answer is yes. Here's question number 3 though. Are you using Pipedrive correctly? Which means multiple times through the day logging in. In fact, the moment you have a conversation with someone, phone call or text, you should be moving them. Oh, we spoke. Oh, I'm going out for a bid. Move them. Oh, I quoted the project. Oh, so that you can actually look at this big pipeline that we're talking about.
You cannot replace yourself if you don't follow your own standard operating procedures. This is like so critical. You have to adopt this tool.
Well,
or any tool, but you have to do it.
And let's talk about why. So I was just hanging out this weekend with Trent, and he said, Chris, here's where I'm at in my business. On just one of my leads, roofing leads, he says, I've dialed it in. I've learned how to jack this thing through the roof and make crazy money. He says, even though it takes—
I'm so proud of him, man. I'm so happy.
He says, even though it takes very, very, very little time, he's now handing it off to someone. Why? Because he wants to use his time to get a new hack. Now, by the way, once you've hacked it, which here's what hack means. It means he's learned what to text these people to get responses. He's learned how to qualify them, and he's learned how to broker it off to a contractor that he likes. He's got an agreement in place. Now, what is he doing to optimize? Number 1, he was taking a 5%. Now he's boosting that to 8% with his contract.
That's instant money. That's free money, man.
It's free money because he's proven himself.
Yeah.
The second thing is he hired someone, a close friend of his, that is highly responsible to basically follow his SOP and burner phone to now text and respond to these people and then hook the jobs over. And then the third thing that's happened, so he's hiring out someone else to actually even win the business.
He's finally replacing himself, which is, by the way, this is how you break time for dollars.
That's how you
Infinite return only comes when you document your standard operating procedures and you replace yourself.
And now he's doing the third thing, which is I'm going to see how many leads that I can get. The more he requests, the more expensive at some point they might become. And then he's expanding his territory. So all of that is happening right now, which means that he's got time to hack his next hustles.
It's super exciting, man. Well, can we just talk about real quick? We're talking about different streams of income here. Every single one of these hustles is a different stream of income. And this active income, it's so easy to create. And just think about these people turning on ads, and in the space of a week, they already have dozens of leads,
so sexy.
Revenues coming in, and they got 3 of these.
Yes. Well, and just imagine what happens when you have more. And guys, you have the entry-level hustles. There are bigger, better, higher margin, easier hustles. We're going to be talking more and more about that. But at any point that you've made your first few $1,000, you got to come back and say, you know what? I want to expand into, now that I see this working, are there hustles that take less time and make more money? And the answer is yes, there's strategy to all of this. Right now, we're training you guys on great hustles that get you in the game and get you rolling and going. But just be available. Just know that there's hustles available, even at a mastermind level, where you're regularly with Nick and I beyond this initial foundational training, literally taking the best hustles and then acting on them in your area and expanding them and handing them off with all the proper scripts and everything. That's what we do in the mastermind.
Well, and even I was just talking with one of the mastermind people, I think it was last Friday.
Yeah.
He gave me an idea. I started implementing it, and I'm doing the testing for him. I mean, I'm doing the R&D.
I know.
And just so they can plug and play, just like everyone else is plug and play.
Dude, Nick, you and I tested another one last week for a couple of ideas that I had. We got 2 of the 3 approved.
Yep.
And those leads are literally at $2 a lead. And guess what? Dude, we're cruising, we're cranking. So guys, listen, this is real. So let's do some house cleaning before we jump into the training. House cleaning, I asked you 3 really important questions. I hope you have positive answers to all those. If not, pause and make a commitment that you're gonna clean that up, because it's like Nick just said, if you're not tracking your exact script and language, your exact follow-up, how long it takes you to follow up, your process for doing the handoff, once you've mastered it and you're not learning anything new, then because you've documented it and you know your numbers, pipe drive everything, you can hand it off.
Yep.
And that's first and foremost one of the things that you want to be learning. Don't hand off prematurely as long as you're learning things. But when you've done, I would say, when you've got 10 more jobs in the pipe and you haven't changed anything and you're getting good conversions, it's time to hand that hacked hustle off so that you can actually work on your next one. Next house cleaning item, dude, let's talk about the contest. Luke, we've basically set up the leaderboard. There is a system. If you guys go to the Facebook page, it's pinned to the top. It's new and updated. I want all of you to watch this, and I want you to do this. If you have booked a job in your pipeline, or if you've completed a job, you're going to actually click the form that is pinned at the top of the Facebook page. And for the sake of the contest and tracking, etc., you're actually going to tell us. And here's what it's going to ask. When you go to that page, it's real simple. It's basically going to say first, is this a job that you've won for a pipeline down the road, or is it a job that you've just done? We're tracking both of these. We want to know how much you're booking and how much you're closing. So by the way, let's just say this week that you won a decking job and you expected to make $1,000. You would actually go in the moment they say yes and it's on the calendar, you're actually going to book it and you're going to put your proposed profit of $1,000. Then let's say 4 weeks later, you actually completed the job and let's say you made $900. You would literally enter it in again and tell us the job and actually how much you made. And we're going to track what's your pipeline, what's your actual, both super important indicators that we're looking at and that this contest is based on for the next 90 days. And it's a rolling challenge, guys. It keeps on moving. We got big cash prizes and everything. So with all of you posting your results, the moment you have a commitment from someone, we want you to click that lead form and update it. And what it will do is it'll aggregate the total amount. And then once a week, Friday at noon Mountain Time, we're posting the leaderboard, we're posting the results. We want you to see what your peers are up to. And I hope that what it does is some of you, it gives you a kick in the pants.
Yep.
Others, it allows you to say, oof, I'm doing pretty good.
Top dog, man.
Right? And for some of you, it's just like figuring out, how am I doing in comparison?
Well, and think about this for a second. When someone figures out how to sell and they do it successfully, what do they got to do? One thing. All they got to do is increase their budget.
Yep.
That's how you get ahead of your competitors.
Yes.
Or you can do what Tucker's doing. Tucker, you're leading the way, man. I love this. Tucker branched out into another market.
Yep.
$10 a day in another market. What's to stop him?
And it's working.
It works.
Yeah.
So,
well, guys, that's what we got going on. And then we talked about our home automation. I mean, our total automation is really just about making sure you are tracking the business and getting to people faster. And so by quick review, you should have a $5 a month burner phone or a similar service that you can use that will connect directly to Zapier. Zapier is another service that basically can take your Facebook leads and then say, what do you want me to do with it automatically? And you can say, send them an email. You can say, send them a text through burner phone. You can say, send it to my phone so that I'm aware that I got a lead and I need to follow up. You can also say, put it into Pipedrive, which is a $9 a month basic entry-level CRM for basically tracking your leads at where we're at. It's like, oh, I've got all these leads uncontacted. By the way, if you got like 50 leads and you're not hustling, meaning following the 3, 10, and 24-hour rule, 3-minute rule is they got to have a text. You can automate that with Burner.
Yep.
The 10-minute rule is you've called them. And the 24-hour rule is there has to be 5 contacts defined by either text or phone calls within 24 hours. If you're not doing that and you're just buying more leads, but you're not contacting them 5 times a day, the very first day, all you're doing is calling, flushing money down the toilet.
That was your toilet sound effect.
That was my toilet sound effect.
Plus a,
It's just flushing. So by the way, turn your leads down and work your leads. Having leads that you don't work is stupid. Like, be smart. If you're spending money, make sure that you're getting a return on that money.
Yep. Don't want to burn the cash.
I know.
Don't want to throw that away.
All
I love
right,
it,
dude.
man.
We got some great things to jump in.
Meat and potatoes.
Listen, if you got questions along the way, Luke is going to be collecting those. We're going to be hitting those today. But Luke, what do you got?
A couple people want to know where they can get this roofing a la carte.
All right.
Hit the team up.
Yeah, guys,
The
you gotta
team will
hit the
hook
team
you
up. The best thing that you can do right now is you can actually, just in the chat bar, if you just leave your name and number, we'll make sure that Luke collects that and then gets that to our team to get in contact with you later today so that we can help you know exactly what that looks like.
Yep.
So great questions. All right, Luke, you let us know if you have any other questions apropos to what we're talking about. Today, we are actually talking about the deck hustle, right? In our first week, we talked about sod, and then everyone's like, oh, sod must be where it's at. And then the next week, we talked about house cleaning. I'm like, dude, house cleaning is about building a valuation and then having $1 million exit. Why not, right? You could all, in less than 5 years, have $1 million exit on a house cleaning business. And some of you that hustle hard can have a lot more than that.
Yep.
But today I want to talk about a service that gives you the option of either like subbing it in-house or brokering it out-house.
This kind of has both of those options. And what actually I love about this, Chris, is, I'm looking at my screen right now, $6.40 is what we put on our blueprint. I've seen probably 6 or 7 different screenshots of several of our hustlers out there, and they're beating Mike pricing.
Yeah.
It's the same proven ad, works in their demographic, their audience, and it's exciting. So
you guys need to understand that pricing through Facebook ads, there's so many complications to the algorithm when the ads drop or when they go higher. We're always going to optimize. We're always going to see if there's better language, a better offer, a way to do it better. And Nick has brought a tremendous genius to the table that has gotten us to the point where we have so many of these hustles at such inexpensive, affordable lead prices. But just know that really a lot of the game is just optimize, 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 optimize.
absolutely.
So let's talk about this. Right now, you guys all have the ability to actually pull up your deck service leads. If you actually go to your 7-figure hustle document, under what hustle number is this?
Hustle number 3?
This is hustle.
Oh, it might be number 2.
It's listed as number 2. And in there, we have all of the regular stuff, but we've also added a section called sample script deck service. And we want to show you what this looks like. And let's beef this up even one notch higher. Let's go to like 1. Let's see what 200% does.
Boom, that looks fantastic.
All right, so listen, you guys can go into Zapier and say, hey, as soon as a deck lead comes in, I want to actually assign it a different automated text. What would be the best first text to send somebody? And this is what we're giving you today. Hi, this is Nick with Company X. Remember, it could be Blue Mountain Oysters.
Yep.
We just got a request for a $500 deck voucher. Where are you located?
Now,
And that's what the first text looks like.
Now we hit this, and I cannot stress enough. We always ask the dumb question.
It's a yes or no or simple. Give me something. It's a give me
It's
question.
and that's all we want. That's
right?
all we want. We just want them to say anything back.
I want to give you a voucher, and so you're being benign. You're not being threatening. You're not saying
it's not too long.
What
it's just
color is your favorite lingerie? Right? I don't even know.
Let's edit. Just kidding.
That's never appropriate to ask, but like it's an unsafe question.
Absolutely. So asking them a simple question like, where are you located?
Yes.
Everyone knows where they live. I live in this city, right?
Yes.
So they'll simply get back to you. And that the reason we have that in there is you don't have to worry about anything if you set up your automations.
Yes.
You just get a notification that there's an active conversation happening. Instead of if you've ever done this marketing wise and you text people outbound, you don't have to do that anymore.
Well, and Nick, listen, if I pull up burner phone, what ends up happening is I can actually go through and see the texts. And what I've got here is because the first one that automatically goes out saying, I just got your request for a $500 deck voucher. Then I know that I'm going to text just to those leads because I might have sod in there. I might have roofing. I might have some others.
Might be mingled a little bit.
But then I can also say cut and paste. Wonderful. We're focusing on doing deck projects right in your area.
Whoa, surprise.
Right? We specialize in quick quotes on the highest quality decks for the best prices. Can we swing by tomorrow?
Again,
Right.
we end with a simple question.
It's just
They
a
get
yes.
back. And honestly, what's your goal in this, Chris? The goal is very simple.
I just want to have an excuse to come by,
Yes.
give them a voucher, and just give them a quick bid.
Date, time, address is perfect. That's the objective.
It's super, super simple. We're not trying to learn a lot about each other through text. We're just getting permission to take the next step. So now we're on first base.
Yeah.
And once you get their address and basically get an appointment set, I want you to understand that you really have a couple of options of what you want to do with this lead. One is to find a contractor that you really trust that says, I've got a company, I can do these decks. You've tested them. They met all of the criteria that we've taught you. They're reliable, they show up on time, they dress professionally. And you're like, you know what? This is not a handyman. This is a professional.
Yep.
This is someone that has a team and they're winning a lot of business. And as a result, they're willing to kick me back 8, 10% of money on jobs that I get their way. And so what you might first do is just broker out the project.
And honestly, that's like the easiest and lowest barrier to entry.
It's the lowest amount of money, but it only works if you have someone responsible that will actually be a good communicator and say, hey, if you're doing that, all you're really going to do is a three-way text, right? I put it right here in the notes, make a three-way introduction between you and the prospect and them saying, hey, I want to introduce you to Ken. He's actually going to swing by. Hopefully tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to let you guys connect right now. Here's the address, and then hopefully if Ken, your contractor, what I would want to see from Ken is that he communicates. I want to see that he's responsive to the text thread.
Yep.
So that I know he's on it and he values the lead.
And you should set these expectations with your contractors.
Yeah. And then I want to know, actually, I want to just text him and be like, hey, did you actually go out on that job yesterday? And if they're like, oh, I just got busy, I didn't get around to it, you found the wrong guy.
Oh,
yeah.
Like,
hey, it went great.
Trust.
I got there 10 minutes early. We did this thing. I've got the bid out the door because here's what you want. You want to know that they can next day drive by. You want to know that they can get a bid out the door fast. Those are the two big indicators. How quick do you get to them and how quickly can you get them a bid so that you can then have them follow up. Those two things are how you make business work. Because in the contractor world, here's what's common. Oh yeah, we'll probably find time to be out there in the next 3 weeks. I'm like,
that's a problem. That's a deal breaker.
Here's another one. Oh, I'm sorry, I showed up 40 minutes late.
No.
Or it's like, hey, I'll get you a bid tomorrow. 3 weeks later, sorry, I'm late. Like,
what could be more frustrating than that?
You're not looking for that person.
Well, and so there's no reason why they couldn't hire multiple contractors. They're going to have too many leads for one contractor.
Yep.
And frankly, that's a great problem.
Test them out and let them compete against each other.
Absolutely. Send multiple contractors out to the same job if you want to.
You really should have your KPIs. And we're sharing with you some of the most important basic things right now. Like if I were calling a contractor and say, hey, I've got leads for doing decks left and right. I'm looking for a larger outfit that can handle a lot of work. And here are my rules. I need someone who's really professional and timely and likes to be early.
And one strike rule.
Right.
There's so many contractors, you can't afford to waste your money sending them quality leads, and they're not going to show up.
It's about the relationship.
Absolutely.
Next, I would say I would want to know, hey, I need someone on your team that can actually go out to do the estimate within 24 hours to 48 hours max. And then I need a bid within 48 hours after that max, because the quicker that works, the quicker the leads actually work. Number 3, what are you going to pay me if this actually turns into a job? And you know what? Someone might say, well, I'll only kick you back 5% just so that you can learn how. He's like, well, you got to give them the $500 voucher and then me 5%.
Yeah.
But as you start winning jobs, you really should be able to make sure that they're giving estimates that can deliver at least 10% back to you. So that's the simple shortcut, right? I'm not saying it's the best way. I'm saying it's a way, because you might say, I want to play volume and I want to dish stuff out. That's like what Trent's been doing with roofing.
Absolutely.
Super successful. But this other way is actually to sub out the project internally. As in, do you know a handyman that's not a large outfit that actually has time to jump on jobs right away? And can you find a group of 2 or 3 of them, have them bid the project? And if you do that, Nick, are you going to make more money generally?
Absolutely. I mean, if you just look at sheer margin alone, if you do the project yourself, you're paying for the materials, you're paying for the labor. Instead of 8, maybe 10%, you might be making 35, maybe 45%.
Yeah, so think about that. You have a $10,000 deck job, and let's just say it's $5,000 in materials, and then it's also $2,500 to pay someone to do it. There's $2,500 left over.
That's a juicy job.
That's a 25% margin, as opposed to maybe like $1,000 or $800. So more money doesn't mean more better. It's a different strategy. And what we're doing, Nick and I are here to give you options. All right. Now, I hope you guys are putting some questions down below in the comments, because we're going to be answering those. But if you are going to sub out the project, Nick and I have put some suggestions here on how you handle that.
So let's take a look at this right now. So if you're subbing out the project, here's what you need to do. It's really easy. It's literally an ingredients list. You show up 5 minutes early.
Like, do you guys understand that? Like, don't be on time, never be late.
Yep.
Be a few minutes early.
Always early. And that's, I mean, that just sets the precedence of, oh, they actually met my expectation of, they showed up when I needed them to show up, and they're not going to flake on me through the rest of the project.
Yeah. Number 2 here, guys, dress up in either some type of company uniform or just dress professionally, right? Like a contractor does not go out necessarily in a suit or a sports jacket, but it's often like a collared button-up shirt, and they don't have freaking paint all over themselves, right? Yep. So you want to dress nice, dress professionally.
You want to be presentable and likable. This one's pretty critical, mostly just because people want to relate. People want to hire people
that they like.
100%. You know, and so if you can be presentable, well, I can carry myself well as I can relate to them.
Yep.
All of these things are pretty critical.
Then you're going to ask some questions like, how big of a deck do you want? Are there special features that you're looking for? Is there certain kind of materials that you're looking for? Do you want Trex, for example? It's a lot more expensive, but it's like that plastic infused wood that lasts forever. You know, when is your time frame for the project? When would you like it done? Would you want it sooner if I could get you a better price? Right? So you're going to learn, you're going to take some measurements, or the person that you subcontract out with, they're going to go ahead and do that so that you can basically go and then get a bid. Now, by the way, we have found plenty of resources on Home Depot or online where you can basically bid out
estimate all the the materials.
You got your materials lists. You can basically figure that out. You can figure out a margin. And remember, if you're taking more than 24 hours to get a bid put together, you should question your method. You should ask yourself, how do I do it faster? Because remember, your competition is taking weeks. And when you're taking 1 or 2 days from contact to bid, guess what? You're going to win just because you are responsive. I cannot tell you in the construction industry, most people, it's like, do I like you? And are you responsive? And do you have the right price? Those 3 things, right? Here's your $500 voucher. I gave myself a margin that I could drop another $1,000. We're going to win the job because I'm responsive and I'm likable. You got those few basic characteristics and you're beating out 95% of your pathetic competition out there that just, they haven't figured out these basic qualities in life. It's like, well, I got busy, you know, took me an hour to get here. It sounds like I'm probably making fun of someone a little bit here, but what I'm really trying to say is that unfortunately this industry just attracts a lot of irresponsible character. And these people just want to know, if you're responsive, if you text response fast, if you show up when you say you are, if you're gonna be a little early and you're gonna dress nice and you're gonna smile, you probably already won like 80% of the job. Just have the right price.
Yep.
You know, if the price is in their budget, it's probably yours.
Well, okay, so I like this next point right now. Get excited about the project, okay?
Oh
this is like infectious. When you show up and you're like, oh my gosh, oh, you're thinking you want the stairs here. Oh, and I love, you know, I love Trex. I love the composite decks, like all that type of thing. They can sense your enthusiasm and they want to hire people who want to do the job.
Dude, let me give you a real world story right now. My wife and I, we were finishing our basement and we were putting in this nice, putting in this nice cabinet.
This one's funny.
And we had this guy, the guy that built the house, did all the cabinetry for it. He's like, well, I can do your cabinets for like, it was like 25 grand or something. He says, but it'll take me like 5 months to get in the queue. And I'm like, he's like, okay, I get it. You don't know how to expand your business. I'm in line. And I didn't feel like that. And so my wife and I found a contractor who was our neighbor, super nice guy. We played racquetball in his house.
Yep.
He comes over and, you know, he was always professionally presentable, on time, super likable, and he got excited about the project. And by the time we were done with the project, do you know what I ended up paying for my cabinets?
Probably twice as much.
Over $70,000. And I love them. And a couple of times my wife and I are like, how did we get here? How did this happen? He was responsive, he was likable, and he was faster than everyone else.
I promise you, he probably listened to you, Chris. He probably heard the grievances from the other contractors. How many people can relate to that, right? I had this experience, now you're listening, and he probably addressed those, didn't he?
Guys, it might seem like we're giving you, hopefully you don't feel like, wow, you guys are giving me a crash course in an MBA that I need from like a university. Right now, this little bit of advice that we're giving you in 10 minutes is already, if implemented, will make you 90% better than 90% of the competition out there.
Absolutely.
The next point is tell them you appreciate the opportunity to earn their business. Tell them that you're committed to do everything you can to help find the right pricing, the right features, and get them the project the right way. Guys, it's not always about winning a project by being the cheapest. It's about doing it right. It's helping them feel confident. And people will pay a whole lot more than their original budget for that. I don't think I'm probably the typical client that's out there, but the reality is he was responsive, he was likable, and he was excited and he cared.
Well, and especially in this economy, Chris, where so many people have lost jobs and opportunities, when you go out and you show the gratitude before you won the job, I think that's like, attracting flies with the honey, right? You can have so much more of an impact by just saying, thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
Thank you for letting me show up on time.
Freaking please and thank you that you hope your 5-year-old learns, right?
Absolutely. So, and they definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, and this last point that we put here is be quicker than the rest to give them a bid. The quicker the bid, the higher chance you have of getting the winning bid, because in construction, people take forever. They take forever to get you what you need.
So true.
Because they're not running a business. They're operating like an artist. So for example, here's how people typically land in construction. Let's not mince words. Someone lands in construction as a default because they can't figure out what to do with their life often. And then so they ask, what skills have I learned? Oh, when I was a kid, I did some concrete, or I did some roofing, or I did some framing. So they then kind of fall into that line of work, and they're the artists. Because they know how to do something, they say, you know what, I'm going to turn that into a business. But they're first and foremost an artist that can deliver the work before actually being a business person. This is business training. The business training is be likable, smile, be responsive, be fast, right? Be appreciative. These basics are things that most people in this industry actually lack. And so you're running this like a business. And remember, day one, rule number one that we told you is that if you ever dare pick up the hammer, if you dare go to Home Depot, if you dare try to do this work all by yourself, you will get yourself locked in a world of hurt. I do want you to sell the lead. I want you to be responsive. I want you to learn how to sell it. And when you learn nothing new, then you can hand it off. And whether that takes you 6 months, 3 months, or like Trent on this one, 3 weeks, it doesn't matter, because once you've done that, you're going to reclaim your time by doing the handoff. And so that's super important for you to really have an awareness of. So guys, this is roofing. I'm going to pause for a second. Luke, we're going to check in for a moment and ask, do we have questions about this roofing?
Decking.
About decking. Do we have any questions about it so that we can jump on that? And then we're going to move to some open Q&A and make sure that we finish strong today. You guys have your leaderboards. The competition is up and always running. There's always prizes being given out. And literally, it's just about doing this business the right way. It's not a complicated business, but if you're saying, I want to see if I can do this without Zapier, like I want to keep the business in my head.
If I want to save $10 on some software.
Yeah, or you know what? I can text fast enough. I don't need to pay $5 for burner phone. It's probably not a money question, guys. It's actually more about, will you follow the system day one? Do you know what I told you? Can you follow instructions? I don't mind if you want to challenge the status quo and see if you can reinvent, but please don't focus on reinventing until you prove what is working. You're always welcome to optimize. You're always welcome to make things better.
So Chris, we've got $6 leads here for decking opportunities.
Yes.
Decks are typically 4, 5, 6, 10, 20,000. I got quoted $20,000 on my deck.
And guess what, guys? And the bigger the project like this means you do fewer of them and you make a lot more money.
And that, honestly, getting 8% of a $20,000 job, that's still pretty juicy. So should they have their deck ads on if they don't have them already?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely turn them on.
Yeah.
And guys, while Luke's seeing if there's any other questions that you guys have here, let me say this about decking. Nick and I, this is something we argue about for fun. I'll say, hey, broker out the project and let someone do it. They have to then warranty the work. They have to guarantee the work and everything else.
These are real conversations.
And then Nick's like, yeah, but if we do it in-house and sub it out, we get
55% margins.
We get really big margins. And you know what? Who's really right? You know, the reality is
time will tell.
I don't even think it's about time. It's not even what makes the most money.
It's about volume, man.
What will you do though?
Yeah.
What will you take action on? If you're like, you know what? If I have to go and get in a car and talk to someone or even train someone to do that, I'm out. And I'm like, good. You need to broker the project. So just go find contractors. Yeah.
Just do you, man.
Yeah. And crush it, right?
Yeah.
So it's, take always into consideration. It's not always what makes the most money. The first filter is, what will you actually do? Some of you are going to just specialize in decks and you're going to say, dude, I love decks because on average I make $2,000 a deck. Yeah. And I have 4 contractors and I run them around doing my 10 decks a month and I make, $20,000 on my 10 decks.
Yeah.
And that's how I make my money. Now, do I want you to make all of your money off of one hustle? I think that's risky, right? But when you start getting one lined out, you should be, I would always be at least developing 3 hustles at a time. And the moment I hand one off, I want my next
Well,
one.
and think about the seasonality here real quick. Decking is probably a
Spring, summer, fall.
6 months, maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Right. You can still make great money. And if you're only in that one lane, hey, you might want to take that 5-month vacation.
Yeah.
Or you can put a system together, let someone else do all the work, manage everything. All you got to do is check your ads every once a week.
Yep, you got it. I mean,
that's sexy system.
It's Luke's got a question here, but before we do from you guys, like compare it to cleaning. If I had to do a race for my life against my brother Nick and say, you pick a hustle, I pick a hustle, let's say that Nick takes decking and I take house cleaning. Nick might be able to clean the street with me in that first 30 days, but I'm also building in my contracts.
This is true.
I'm building up annual value, multi-year value on people having me continuing.
Let's just shut this down here right now. Okay, 30 days,
value.
just 30 days. That's all we need to know.
No, but
I beat Chris in 30 days.
Yes.
Okay, just kidding. But the lifetime value.
Oh, crush
the lifetime
between 5.
The lifetime value is incredible. Okay, let's hit a question here.
Yeah, Alethea, she's wondering if you guys could do a quick scenario. If you called somebody 10 minutes after for a deck job, how that might go.
Okay, little role play.
Dude, here. How about you be the customer?
Okay, I'll be the customer, and we're gonna do a quick role play on decking.
All right, now guys, remember the goal of this conversation is not a lengthy conversation, because if you open your mouth too much, you can disqualify yourself, right? You want to actually get you or a contractor in person.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah, so I'm going to assume that for a moment, I'm going to be brokering this out to a contractor, but what would my conversation be like? I've been texting them and they're not responding, and I value the $6 that I paid for my lead, so I want to get my money's worth. So I ring him up and he picks up, hey, is this Nick?
It is.
Nick, hey, what's up? This is Chris Crone with Rocky Mountain Oysters. How are you doing?
Good. Wonderful.
Awesome. Listen, I'm calling about the deck voucher, the $500 off. Do you remember doing that just a moment ago?
I do. That was literally just 5 minutes ago. You are incredibly fast.
No, listen, technically it's been 11 minutes.
Oh, okay. Wonderful.
No, listen, I wanted to just reach out to you to make sure that I could get that voucher sent out to you.
Okay.
That's $500 off. And here's what I want to tell you. We make some of the most beautiful, high quality decks, but we beat our competition's pricing left and right. And I would like to have one of my professionals come out and evaluate the job. Do you have some time tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Tomorrow afternoon?
Sure.
Let's do this. I'm going to put you on a 3-way text with one of my experts, and I'm going to let you and him find the exact time, and you're going to see that text come through in about 2 minutes. So if you can just respond with when in the afternoon will be good for you, we're going to wait for him to respond and do the same. Does that work?
That's perfect.
Awesome. Hey, I appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing if we can earn your business and help you out with your decking project.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
So super short conversation. That literally was 60 seconds, Chris. That's how the conversation is supposed to go. You don't open your mouth too much. You keep it short and sweet. And the only objective.
Yep. Because you don't
Put
want
that
to ask
broker
questions
together.
like, how many jobs do you guys do a week? What's your favorite material? It's like, whoa. I'm not the expert. Don't put yourself in a category where you're offering expert response and feeling like you need to BS or feel like an idiot because you keep saying, I don't know, because that wasn't really the objective. Remember, you're a broker. You're not the expert.
And it was a predictable conversation. You asked questions you already knew the answer to before I did it. And so you gave me the right amount of room to answer that. And then you continued, right? So you were in control of the whole conversation. That was a great question, Luke. Is there anything else like that that's helpful?
She also was wondering about house cleaning. Would you ever allow the cleaner to coordinate with the homeowner?
Probably not. Okay. Let's chew on that a little bit here.
I think what it comes down to is trust and the vendors that you're working well with. For example,
yeah, I see that for sure.
Like it is about controlling your business. For example, let's say that you found a cleaning contractor that, first of all, I don't think I would ever contract out to a professional cleaning service.
No, you need to start one from the ground.
It's too dumb and easy to start from the ground up. And so I would be maintaining control. And we'll role play that conversation as well, because I think that'd be helpful. But remember, the text that we talked about last week is, listen, I'm trying to get you your free house cleaning, right? I actually want to see you guys test the ads for not saying a month of free house cleaning. My vote was, I want to clean your house for free. No strings attached.
Yeah.
And that would be my offer. So
And by the way, I would love to know who's actually doing it and what's working for you,
Yeah.
right? We hear a lot about sod.
chime in, guys.
You know, we'd love some additional feedback. But let's do a little
Let's do a
role
role
play.
play. So let's
Yeah.
just say I've been trying to text and I've been saying I'm trying to give you your free house cleaning and they're just not responding.
Yeah.
So I call them up. Hey, is this Nick?
It is.
Hey, Nick, my name is Chris Crone with Blue Oyster House Cleaning. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Interesting name.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Thank you. Listen, I saw that you responded to the ad about 30, 40 minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
And I shot you a text. I don't know if you saw it, but I wanted to call because I really want to give you your free house cleaning.
Okay.
First of all, can I just ask you a little bit about your house?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, how big's your house?
I got 3,000 square feet. I
Okay.
got 3 kids. It's always busy and constant mess.
Awesome, constant messes. So what
Yeah.
are your priorities? What is it that you really want?
Oh man, the bathroom is always a nightmare.
I get you.
And cleaning the mirrors, the kitchen countertop.
Got it.
Maybe putting the dishes in the dishwasher before you head on out.
And if you had to guess, how many hours a week would you like our team to come in and clean your house?
Maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how fast you guys are.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this. We are fast. We're really good at what we do. So I'm positive that we would, like I said, we come in once, we do a free cleaning service, and we'll let you just basically evaluate us.
So, but
and see
what's
if
the
you like us.
catch?
Well,
Why would you just clean my house for free?
yeah, so the reason why I'm doing that is I'm looking for long-term clients right now. And I have a belief, it's simple, that if we can do a great job cleaning your house, that you'll want us to come back every week or 2 times a month. And hopefully this just becomes a long relationship where we can do a great job. We can deliver it at a great price. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. I'd love to give that a shot.
Awesome. Well, listen, let me get your address and let's see a time that we can come out. Could we come out and actually do the cleaning on Thursday?
Absolutely.
Great. I'm going to be sending one of my best cleaners. I'm going to have her there for a couple of hours. You think it might be 60 to 90 minutes. I'll have her there long enough to do a really good, thorough job and focus, especially on the areas like the bathroom that you talked about.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
I would get address, boom, boom, boom. Now, notice on this conversation, this is more in depth. Why? Because we're actually the ones that are actually going to be doing the business internally. I'm actually not hiring. Guys, it's dumb easy to be the expert of cleaning, not of roofing, not of decking, not of a lot of these other things. Anytime you're going to sub something out, it's just get the lead, pass it off, get the lead, pass it off, go for a high conversion. With house cleaning, if I'm building that, I'm going to actually build a little bit of rapport because I think you guys can feel super safe. Just like, oh, tell me about you. How big's your house? How much cleaning you want? We'd love to do a free house cleaning. Apologize if it sounds like there's a catch. We're so confident in our ability to do a good job that we believe that you'll want us to keep coming out.
So did you expect me to ask that question?
I didn't.
Okay. And I think it might be helpful. People are always kind of suspicious, right?
Yes.
And hey, it's okay. When you expect the question, then you already have your response prepared. You want to earn their business. And guess what? They want to hear that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And by the way, anytime you get a question, when you're talking to a client and you think that conversations on the phone will lead to earning more business, and you're not satisfied with your response, you need to be asking that in the Facebook group and you need to get ideas. The biggest thing is getting an idea that you like and feel good about. Like I've had this one before and it's like, I came up with a response I feel good about. It's like, I'm so confident in our ability to clean your house so well and exceed your expectations that you'll likely want us to keep coming out and we'd love to keep running your business by doing a good job.
Well, so let me say this real quick. So I just personally hired a housekeeper, okay? $17 an hour, 2 hours a week, okay? $34.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to spend $34 to win a $2,000 contract?
Oh yeah.
Who would say no to that?
Yes.
Right? That doesn't make sense. So again, the marketing, I put my marketing hat back on and I say, okay, I got a $2 lead. Let's say I convert 1 out of 5. That's $10. My cost per acquisition, I add $34.
For the actual cleaning.
For the actual cleaning that I'm paying my person.
I'm at like 40, just under $50.
Under $50
so
to win
$50
$2,000.
To win a $2,000 contract.
You know what we call that? An ATM. Who doesn't want to put 50 in to make 2,000 out, right?
Yep.
And granted, there's cost ongoing throughout the contract.
And it also takes time.
Absolutely, but they earn your business, high trust, and it's awesome. We got a question over here, and
You answered in that one. We have
okay.
one more person who's asking if we could maybe do a sod role play.
Do you guys like the role plays?
Yeah.
Huh?
So guys, here's the
Business role plays.
Yeah, and listen, remember that we're trying to beast as much business through text as possible. That is the way the world is moving. But if you want to get your money out of your leads, texting will only reach a certain percentage of your people.
Yeah.
So that's why we always recommend following up with a phone call. Right now, I will tell you that Trent has built his entire model in roofing on just text, and he never calls.
And it works.
But he will probably double, maybe even triple his revenue if he implements phone calling. He's just been doing it to preserve his time, but he's also making enough that he's like, you know what? Even if I have to burn through twice as many leads, it's still an ATM that makes sense for me. So he's been okay with that. But especially when you're a little tight on money and you want to get that value worth, it's important to make sure that that you're getting your money's worth. And phone calling, following up with text will always ensure that you're getting as much juice out of there. So let's role play sod, shall we?
Yeah, and if I can just squeeze one thing in here, let's talk just real briefly about problem solving.
Yeah.
Do we have the answers for everything?
No.
Every entrepreneur.
Hustling is all about not
problem
having
solving,
all the answers.
figuring it out as you go. So we're going to provide you some value here. We'll do another role play.
Are you going to throw in some concerns?
Well, absolutely.
I'll
I'll throw some in there. But also, I want to say, when it comes and it's outside of the playbook, roll with it.
Yeah.
You know?
So Nick's going to try to dethrone me, okay?
Okay, here we
He's
go.
sitting on his throne.
And, he's won 2 jobs.
Yeah, and by the way, he's not going to be like a nasty, like
a heckler. I'm not going to be a heckler.
Yeah, but he's going to ask. He's going to be kind of tough on me. Okay, let's just run with it.
Let's run.
All right. Hey, is this Nick?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Nick, this is Chris with Blue Mountain Oyster calling about your sod job. How you doing?
What sod job?
So looks like about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes ago, you were online and you were looking for a $250 discount on getting some sod put in your yard. Is that right?
I wonder if that was my wife. Anyway, tell me more.
You know what? It might have been your wife, but
okay.
Basically, someone in your household went online. They submitted actually your name and your phone number and said for us to reach out to you. I tried texting a couple of times.
Well, I do need my yard done. So
okay,
that does make sense.
This is real.
Play the dumb card.
All right, awesome.
Okay.
Listen, would you actually like to get a super quick quote literally right on the phone?
Right now?
Would that be useful for you?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just on Google Earth. Can I get your address?
Yeah, let me give you my address. Usually I don't give addresses to people right out the gate.
You know, all I want to do here is I want to serve you by helping you understand what it could be for me to either just deliver sod to your house and you guys can lay it, or literally have us do it all for you. Frankly, I'm just giving you options. Does that work for you?
Sure. Are you guys licensed and insured?
No, the toughie.
You got me. This is the toughie. Now, hey, there's nothing wrong with this question.
Yes.
People will ask this question, and frankly, I've actually dealt with this. We'll just pause real quick and we'll come back to this. Sometimes the way that I deal with it, I said, hey, man, this is my side hustle. I am insured. I have business insurance, and it's my side hustle. And they're actually okay with the transparency.
I like that.
It hasn't always gone well, but people they have a sniff test.
Yes.
You have a sniff test, Chris?
100%. I want to just know if someone is being honest, whether I like the answer or not.
So if I take 30 minutes to get back to you because I don't know how to respond to this text of like, oh, he just asked me if I'm licensed and insured and I don't want to, am I in the gray zone? You know what I mean? Be transparent and get back to them. That dethrones people, and that's okay.
And it caught me off guard. Now I've had like a minute to think about my answer, so we're gonna jump back in.
So are you licensed and insured?
So I'm actually not licensed and insured. This is actually a side hustle, which is why I can either just get the sod delivered to you, or if you want, I've just got a couple of the neighbor boys that I send out to lay that sod for you, so that you don't have to do the backbreaking labor.
Okay, I think I'm okay ordering the sod.
Okay, well, let's take a look. Let me.
Here's my address.
Okay, let me plug it in here. Okay, just give me a second. So as this is waiting to come up, what it's going to do is it's just going to kind of show me a top down of the size of your yard, and I've got a tool that will actually tell me roughly what the square footage is. Okay, it looks like it just popped up here. Listen, are you talking about the front or the back?
We're looking at the back.
Okay,
primarily.
so yeah, it looks like the back isn't done. So I'm just going to drag my tool out here, and I'm just. Okay, so it looks like you've got about 5,000 square feet.
Okay. Now I have a deck. I don't want sod under the deck.
I wouldn't want sod under your deck either, right?
Wonderful.
Okay, yeah, I'm missing the deck right now in the outline.
Okay.
But I'm going all the way out in, looks like on the northeast corner, you got a tree, and then you got a play swing on the southeast corner. We can work around that. And it looks like that's about 5,000 square feet.
Is it possible for you to come out? Sometimes it's nice to meet face to face, that we can actually like, you know who you are, who we're hiring.
Yeah, Nick, we can certainly do that, but I want to be also transparent with you. My phone is ringing off the hook and
Okay.
sod is running out.
Oh,
And
shoot.
so what I want to do is literally get you a bid, because if it's out of your price range, let's not meet.
Okay.
If it's actually doable and you're serious, we can 100% get face to face.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
All right, awesome. So listen, at the price of sod, at this price per square foot, at this on 5,000, you're looking at a total of, just in product alone, you're looking at $2,182.
Okay.
Now
That seems reasonable.
Now that's just me getting it shipped to you.
Okay.
If you want me to round up the neighbor boys and actually get this installed, I got to pay these boys for doing that kind of work.
I'd be curious what that price is too.
And that price is $3,248.
So just over $1,000 more.
You got it.
Hmm.
So that you don't have to. It's 5,000 square feet. That's a big backyard.
Well, and we do have we still actually need to put sprinklers in. I assume you're a month out. Do you do that as well?
Actually, I do have a team that can take care of sprinklers for you. So we would definitely want to have that done first.
Okay.
So what I would want to do though is I would have one of my contractors come out. I would have them actually walk the yard. We want to make sure that we hit the flower beds, all the areas that you want. Make sure if your wife's, I don't know if you're going to plant a garden, but I'd like to send someone out to actually kind of get the details so that we can get you the best sprinkler system at the lowest price that will actually meet the real needs that you have.
Wonderful.
Does that make sense?
When can we have them out?
Okay, well, let me ask you this question first. So right now, is this more of a now project for you, or is this like a down the road, like maybe next summer or maybe this fall, or is this actually my wife's bothering the heck out of me, I need to do it now?
Well, and if we're that far booked out, I think we'd probably like to get on the books.
Okay. And so when we're talking about whether it's 2,000 or 3,000 for sod, that's within the budget?
Yeah, let me talk to my wife real quick on that piece.
Okay.
But
good.
I'm leaning towards having you guys install it.
Okay, great. Listen, let's go ahead and set a time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to text you. You're going to see that number come from the one that came in earlier. I don't know if you can see that on your text thread. And I'm going to find a time to have my team come out to actually look at the contracting on the sprinkler work.
Wonderful.
Sound good?
Perfect.
All right. Boom.
So we had a couple really good pieces in there. I really liked how you were transparent. I asked you a couple tough questions.
I decided that I was going to say I'm hiring neighbor kids and we're not licensed insured.
But you know what? I appreciated that.
By the way, if I were really doing this as a business, might I look into like what insurance costs or some of those things?
Sure,
Yeah, you can
absolutely.
evaluate those options, but I just ran with the simplest hustler response, which is I'm hustling work.
Yeah, and you know what? I think
Pretty hard to screw up laying grass. It's just really heavy back-breaking work that a lot of people don't want to do.
now I think our hustlers should also consider the possible upsell opportunity.
Yes.
Do you have to generate sprinkler leads to get sprinkler jobs?
100% not.
Absolutely not.
You could be pairing those together. For
Absolutely,
sure.
absolutely. And so it's just a simple question of, hey, do you need sprinklers installed? We can trench it out, we can install them, and we'll get it done in 2 days.
Yep.
We can do that right before the job, or we can do it now.
Yeah.
What do you prefer?
I really liked how you stumped me for a second, because I'm like.
But now you have the answer for all future questions.
Yeah.
And by the way, that works for pretty much any hustle.
And I've seen that some of you also hired out to contractors, and guess what? They can be licensed, insured, et cetera, and you're literally getting a kickback on some of that, and they're splitting the profits in half with you because they're just happy for the work.
Well, so that's another question. If you're going to be brokering and maybe you're still making phone calls, can you ask them, hey, are you licensed and insured?
Yes.
Are you okay if I say that you're licensed and insured?
Yeah, because you're the one passing on. By the way, do you guarantee your work? Is what I would always ask a contractor. Like, what's your warranty look like if there's a problem on your work?
Absolutely. So now you have a really good idea of how to answer some of those tough questions. Write them down. Make sure you commit them to memory and use them. And because guess what? When it comes time to replace yourself, they're going to ask the hard questions to your replacement. And so you need to know today exactly how to answer that question.
Well, Luke, do we have any other questions based on this?
We got one more.
One more question. Let's hit it.
If hydro seeding would be a good idea, they're wondering if you guys have any suggestions.
Hydro seeding could be a good suggestion. In fact, we might want to make an announcement.
Yeah, make the announcement, Nick.
We have an interesting announcement. Memorial Day, and this week and through the end of the week, Chris did mention that we are giving a discount, as well as we have potential other services. And we actually do have that service as one of our proven ads. So again, contact the Chris Crone team, and they can share more information.
Yeah.
Did I do justice there?
No, you did. The answer is yes. We have that, and we have
We do
so
have
many
that.
more. Nick, just in the last 2 weeks, I think we have proven out 5 more hustles. It's been crazy amount of testing and failing and testing and failing and testing and failing to get it just right. But we've got 5 more of these hustles, and
just proved them out.
You know, at some point, you guys understand that we have an unlimited level, as in unlimited help with our helpline, talking to our in-house experts, auditing your Facebook page, actually connecting with us, being a part of a mastermind. For those of you like, you know what, guys, I don't want to make a quick 50 Gs. I actually would like to make a 50 G a month.
Yeah.
I would like to actually go for something bigger, and I want access to all the hustles so I can put my time and energy into the ones that have the highest profit margins for the least time, right?
Well, what's great about the hydro seeding specifically, Chris, is it's a lower price point.
Yeah.
Almost anyone can afford it.
Yeah.
It's cheaper than sod. And guess what? They don't have to wait.
I know. It's just instant.
This is a fantastic broker opportunity. Probably not one of those opportunities you want to drop 50 grand on equipment and stuff.
Right.
Perfect broker opportunity.
Hand it out.
Even 8%.
Yep.
Of in fact, Carson just did $1,000 on his last week. And so $1,000 drop, $1,000, for a $2 lead, that's pretty good money. So we do have that. We do have many others. We are always listening, and we are always testing our own dollars. Thousands of dollars spent on different copy, different images, and we do that work for you so you don't have to do it yourself. Exactly which age demographic's working well, which platform.
Perfect.
So it's fun stuff.
So guys, let me just do a real quick recap. Where are we at in this process together? We've just finished our 3rd week of training. On the first week, we said, fire hose, let's give it to you all. Last week on week number 2, we gave you all the automation. How do you actually run your business? What should you be tracking, and how do you automate it so that you can eventually, sooner rather than later, hand it off to someone else to do the work, but still get paid a majority of the money? I'm a huge fan of give up 20% of the reward for letting go of 100% of the work, right? Mm-hmm. And then today, we've really been doing a lot of role playing. We've now successfully, at the most entry level, talked about 3 of our different hustles. We've talked about sod, house cleaning. We've talked about decks. We've talked about how to do it. We've talked about how to find great contractors. Next week, I'm going to let it be an awesome surprise for where we go with that training.
I want to tell them, though. It's so exciting.
Guys, that will be our 4th and final training to make sure you get what you need as a hustler. At this point in the game, if you're thinking to yourself, I wish I had more profitable hustles for the time I put out. Or if you were thinking to yourself, I really have learned that I need more accountability. I need handholding. I need someone that I can work with, and I don't want to feel so alone in this. And the Facebook page group is priceless, but I need more of that one-on-one help and accountability. If you feel like you need more tools and more resources, you got to reach out to the team, and do not undercut yourself. I want to tell you right now that one of the ways that we hurt ourselves in life is we don't always give ourselves all the resources that we need. Sometimes you can get all that you only have money for, but some of you are sitting out there, and I'm telling you right now that I have put millions of dollars testing and building and growing businesses. Some of them failed and some became empires. This is a business that you can put money in, and it will give you a super powerful ROI. But do you have all the tools you need? Well, I want you to know that right now, for many of you, you're just at the tip of the iceberg, and there's so much more. So be in contact with our team, learn about the additional hustles, learn about the things that we're doing, learn about the accountability, the one-on-one help, the training, the mastermind, the things that we make available for you to really run this like a pro instead of a novice. And if you're committed long haul, I'm going to invite you to find a way to get yourself into that highest level mastermind, either by earning yourself there with the money you get from jobs, or by leveraging a credit card, 401k, IRAs, home equity, savings, etc. Because when you find a business that works, and at this point, you all know this, oh, this works. People are working it. If you're not getting the results that you want, though, I need you to do something different. I need you to shake it up, and I need you to make sure you're getting all the resources that you need, because we're seeing way too much success. You see the social proof every single day with people winning jobs left and right and making money with this. And if you at this point do not see your clear path to becoming financially free, then you don't have enough tools and resources. Something is anemic. And I want you to know that we are ready to step up for you. So you just got to reach out to the team and just say, you know what? I think I need more handholding, more accountability. I need one-on-one help. I'm having trouble with this Facebook account. I'm not great at technology. I need to role play. I don't know how to say this one thing. How would you guys do this? What texts are you using for that? What hustle would you do that would take the least time and make the most money? And our team is prepared to share all of that information with you. So make sure that you do reach out. With that,
next week.
Next week,
week's gonna be incredible.
on our final training. At this point, you've got such a great foundation. It is time for us to go deeper at the next level.
Yep.
Know that we look forward to seeing your tremendous success. So here's what you got to do this week. Set a goal. Be more excited this week than you were your first 2 weeks. And more importantly, I want you, every job that you've won in the past so far, I want you to go get it submitted. Keep clicking the link and submit it for every one job. And then the moment you actually perform the job and get paid, resubmit it again so we can be tracking pipeline and actual results. Because right now, guys, we got this big contest in motion. And
$10,000, baby.
whether you're motivated by money or extra time with us or not, this is a way for you to say, I'm not alone in this. There's a community that I'm a part of. I am a hustler. I'm figuring this out. And whether you're shy and nervous about talking to people, if you struggle with following instructions, you got a group of people that are rallying for your tremendous success. I personally, and I can speak for Nick, we want to see you have the most success that you can. And at a bare minimum level, dude, replace your job. Have at least the opportunity of greater financial freedom in your life where you're in control of your destiny by being in control of your money and your time. Friends, that's what we want for you. That's why it's called the 7-Figure Hustle. Game on, make it happen this week, and we will see you next week.
Get back to hustling.
Boom.